Welcome to Lined Musings. Today we are going to go through my 2024 planner lineup, or what I have decided to go with so far. These ones right here in front of me are my planners. But before we go into my 2024 plans, I just want to talk about my 2023 Hobonichi weeks. This was my first year of using the Hobonichi Weeks, and I absolutely love this cover and the paper and the size. It's compact, it's lightweight, it has all the elements of a planner that I am after. This year I went pretty heavy with the deco, in my opinion, and I might change that up in 2024. The pen that I've been using in this planner is the Muji 0.38 refill in this Sarasa Grand body, and I really love the weight and the color of that casing, so we'll be continuing to use that in 2024 as well. And you got a sneak peek of this before, but I did go with the Tomitaro Makino cover design. I was tossing up between the leather olive colour and this floral number. I don't really use these pages, but this page I was using for Happy Mail Studios tracking, but next year I'll be using for period tracking. Then it moves on into the monthly spreads, which I'll be using for future logging, which is the same way I used it this year. And now in the weekly spread, there are so many of my Plan With Me videos that shows how I've used those, so I'll just put November's one here for you. And in the back here, we have some notes pages. This page I use to put my bullet journal keys, which I've created stickers for 2024, so I'll be using those. And I have a whole plan on how I'll be using these notes pages, but it will be similar to 2023. And this page wasn't too helpful, so I won't be using it. The favorites page I did quite enjoy, so I will use that again. The My 100 I did use. I'm not sure if I'll use it again or how I will be using it. And in the back here, there's a new section, an interview with myself, which I may or may not do. We'll see if I feel like it. I do like the concept of it, and if it continues every year, it'd be nice to reflect back and see what your responses were in the previous years. These weren't too helpful, but I stick post-it notes in there, and I don't know what to use the 365 days check-off sheet for next year. I tried this year and it just didn't stick. So that's a very quick overview of how I'll be using the Hobo Weeks next year. I will be doing a setup video, so look out for that. This here is my traveler's notebook in the navy or the blue. I use this at work. It's quite understated and not too vibrant and appropriate for the work environment. And I did select the navy TN because the inserts that I use are this blue color that I'm not too fond of, but it works, I guess. So these are the weekly memo inserts, and they have been really good. I really like the layout. It is the same layout as the Hobonichi Weeks. I'm just grabbing the 2024 one for you so you can see what it looks like inside, because this one here has actual work notes in it, so you can't see it. And I'll just show you also the stickers that come with it. Here it is. I actually got this from the Cubo and Lucy competition that I won recently, so I'm really grateful for that. Thank you, Yushin. And I'll just open this up so you can see what it looks like inside. It is a dated planner, which is super helpful, and the paper is Midori cream paper. In the front here, there's also this Calendex, I think that's what it's called. I don't use it too much, and there's some blank pages at the back there too. So yeah, I used this year and it worked really well. There was a lot of space. I couldn't use the weeks for work. I just need a bit more room and I need the flexibility to be messy, which I can do with the Traveler's Notebook inserts, but I can't for some reason do with Hobonichi. I also have this grid insert in the back just for mind mapping, flows and scribbles, kind of scratch paper really. And this Traveler's Notebook in the blue, my one at least, it is so fuzzy and nice and soft on the inside. It's probably the softest one on the inside that I have, even more so than the Camels. But I digress. This is my Traveler's Notebook Blue and it holds my work planner for 2023 and will hold my 2024 work planner as well. And I am adding a third planner to the mix for 2024. This one is the Nolty 1180 and I'm planning to use it to plan out my Happy Mail Studios and Lined Musings content and business things. These monthly spreads will be used to track my social media figures and also my planned content. Flicking through to the week's pages, it's different. I haven't used this kind of layout before, but I think it's good. It gives you a lot of flexibility to make it work for however it is that you need it to work. There are a few more blank grid pages at the back here. I don't know what I'll use that for, but there's not really that many pages either, so they'll probably just stay blank. There is also this little pen loop here and it does fit some mini fountain pens. So I have this Traveler's Notebook brass pen and it fits in there quite well, though the nib is quite thick, so I am not sure it will be suitable for this planner. I do also have another mini pen. It is the Conklin Minigraph. It's really super cute. I'll just pull it out here and pop it in the loop so you can see what this combo looks like. There we go. Isn't it so cute? It is the tiniest little pen. I have it in an extra fine nib, which will work well with this small gridded paper. So yeah, I am so excited to use this Nolty 1180, but I will see how it goes. It's the first time I've had to use a planner for my side hustle / hobby, but it's a pocket size and hopefully low maintenance. So that's the planners that I have lined up for 2024. And now we'll go through the other journals and notebooks that I have. This one here is my Hobonichi A6. I've been using this one as a Commonplace book. In the Calendex pages, I have been noting what content I have on that daily page. And I've been using the monthly pages for my ink swatches. The plan here was to swatch on the original Tomoe River paper and compare with Tomoe River S paper in the following year. As you can see, this is the Avec for the second half of the year, because that's when I started picking this up. And I have a whole bunch of random notes, ephemera and swatches, illustrations, reviews. Yeah, it's just a whole hodgepodge of things. And I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it at the beginning. But as you can see, I have fallen off and not been updating this. And so I have fallen behind. And that's okay. That is okay. I did get it discounted and I have learned a lesson in that I should not have a daily notebook for my Commonplace, which brings me to the day free. So I will still be using a Commonplace notebook because I did enjoy the hodgepodge of entries that I had, but I didn't want to be restricted to the dated daily pages. And I guess one could say I could just use a regular notebook, but I do want my pages to be numbered, and I do still want to do the ink swatches on the Tomorrow River S paper. So this was the perfect solution. And I know this is a Techo Kaigi video, but I am just going to show you what came with my notebook. This little pamphlet, which is super cute and colourful. They kind of look like a kid's illustration of Animal Crossing characters. Like that one's Raymond, for sure. Okay, moving on, let's go through my Commonplace notebook for 2024. So this one will be Tomorrow River S paper, so that will be something different to work with, but I've been told it's very similar to the original paper. Here we have the Calendex. Just feeling the paper here, it does feel like it has a bit more friction than the old Tomorrow River paper, or the original Tomorrow River paper. I'm just checking here. Yeah, it has a bit more friction, and I hear that ink dries on the new Tomorrow River S paper a bit quicker as well, which is not a bad thing. Okay, sorry, I keep going off on a tangent. Let's go back to my Commonplace for 2024. So the Calendex, which I'll be using for the word of the day, and that was inspired by Journal with Jazz. I just thought that was a really good way of elevating and increasing my vocabulary. I will be doing the ink swatches on the monthly pages in the style of Aina Christina. I'll just show you again how that looked in my current one. So like I mentioned, I am keen to see how the ink performs, if there will be any difference. Even if there is, I think it's just a fun thing to do. Okay, and now onto the notes pages. I did get the Japanese version, so there is Japanese at the bottom here, but I don't mind that. I think it adds a little extra something to the pages. And the pages are numbered at the bottom here, which will help with indexing my Commonplace notes. I don't know what it is about the A6 Techo, but I really like the way it looks and feels. We'll just flick to the back pages here so you can see what they have. There's this timetable. I'm not sure how I will be using that. May need to hop on YouTube for some inspo there. Maybe notes on like the ideal week or something. There's graph paper. I also have no idea what I will use this for. The favorites pages, again, I may need to split up what I use the Hobonichi favorites for and the Commonplace favorites for. And another My 100, I guess it's kind of a duplicate of what I have in the Hobonichi weeks, so I will need to figure out how I want to use each of them. This one might actually be really good for photos, and there's 12 boxes, so that could be really good for a photo a month. Yeah, I like that idea. And I know it has the prompts in Japanese above the boxes, but I don't mind that. I'm happy to ignore that. And then some recipes and other things that I cannot read because it is in Japanese. I wonder what this is. I have absolutely no idea. Okay, I think there's an address page at the back here. Yeah, here we go. And personal notes. So I'm not sure how I'll use these either, but they're there and I can have the option to use them or not use them. So that is my Commonplace book for next year, and I'm excited to not have a dated notebook. This one here is my Passport Tien in Camel, and I am currently using this as a junk journal. And as much as I have enjoyed and love this notebook, I am going to have to let it go. I don't think I'm going to need a separate junk journal for 2024. So where am I going to put all these junk bits and bobs, you may ask? I am just going to merge it and consolidate it with my memory keeper. And that means that this TN is now free. And that means I can use it for my Nolty 1180. And I have already tried this, but I will demonstrate it for you that it does fit in perfectly. So I will be sad to let go of the junk journal in the passport size, but I am excited to use this cover and the Nolty 1180 together. Letting go of that junk journal meant I didn't need to buy another TN. I was tempted to buy another TN for this Nolty, but it all worked out and is for the best, I think. Okay, and I mentioned my memory keeper. So here she is, my memory keeper in the olive TN in the regular or the standard size. I don't know what it is, but this is the olive that I got from the Kubo and Lucy competition. So inside here I have a stamped craft folder, and this is stamped from the Stamp Caravan event that happened this year. In this pocket I just hold some ephemera, and then I have a monthly insert, which I am not gonna lie, I really struggled with this year. I tried using it in multiple different ways, and it just, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a size or what, but I just wasn't gelling with it, so that I won't be using next year. This is a leather folder that holds some ephemera, and this is my new insert for my memory keeper from October, and I'm hoping it will last up until December. But yeah, this is kind of how it's looking at the moment. Just some writing and some ephemera, and I like to keep it quite messy and free and relaxed and chill, and hence it is suitable for junk journal entries as well. So I will be using the same format for 2024, except I will be removing the monthly insert, and I will leave my junk journal entries in the same memory keeper. Next up, we have my Hobonichi 5-year Techo, and I have been using this for the first time this year. So next year will be the first time I actually get to reflect on the previous year's entries. I have enjoyed using this one and playing with different inks. I change it up every week so that I can go through all of the inks that I have collected, and also with the stamps and the watercoloring, and I really get to play with my stationery in this one, which is a surprise to me. Like this one here is a cute little illustration of the dinner I had that night. And I really like the routine of winding down and writing in this as the last thing I do before bed. In the back here as well, there's these dedicated 1 pages for the year. I have used that page this year just to list my achievements, and I will continue to do that over the next 4 years so I can see all the things I have achieved whilst in this journal. So yeah, that is my 5-year. I'm hoping I can keep up with it for a few more years. We'll see how I go. And I think by now you'll realize how much I love an A6 notebook. This one here is another A6, and it is quite a chunky one. I have another one here as well, but let's start with the Midori 1 day, 1 page. I have wanted this one for a while. I've wanted it for a year actually, to be honest, but I couldn't find a use for it. But now I have decided I'm going to use this just for collaging, and I know it is a 2024 notebook, but I am just going to collage in it. For the monthly pages, I think I'll just do seasonal type collaging. And on these daily pages, I'll just kind of collage however I want, with new stickers and flowers and however it is that tickles my fancy that day. And you're never starting on a blank canvas. This is what you're starting with. and I think that really helps the whole process. And I've seen a lot of people on Instagram use this for the same thing, and I've just loved what they've created, and I want to do the same. This one here is my Dear Diary Heavy Emotions notebook. I will be continuing to use this in 2024. And it's just gonna keep rolling. There's no dated pages, it's just Tomorrow River gridded pages, no numbers. I just keep it quite simple. I just put my Dear Diary entries in here. There's nothing else to say about it, really. Okay, now moving on, I have a bunch of traveler's notebooks on the side here. So this one here is my brown tin, and it is the Midori tin. I don't think anything has changed with this one, but I am using this for my childhood memories or core memories, just to document them so one day I can read through them and just remember these little things that happened in my life that for some reason seem significant enough that my mind has latched on and kept them. And the second notebook in here is my snail mail ephemera. So any mail that I've received from friends in this community, I've kept them in here, and I got this idea off Journal with Jazz. She's done the same thing, and hers is quite chunky, and hopefully mine will get there one day too. Next up, I have my passport tin in brown as well. And this one is for my creative hobbies. So I really enjoyed collaging and stickers this year, and I've incorporated that with my love for inks. So this one is a watercolor insert, and I just swatch an ink and decorate it with some stickers and washi, etc. The second insert is another watercolor insert which I have yet to use, but I'm hoping to use this for urban sketching and watercoloring. This last insert I made myself with scrap pieces of paper, and I have just popped in some flowers that I have pressed, and they're usually from significant places or events, and I just make a note of that as well. And like the last couple journals, this is just a rolling one. It's not necessarily one dedicated to 2023. I will just continue to use it until the inserts are full, and then I will figure out my next venture. And here we have my limited edition Traveler's Diner tin. I'll just pop the unboxing of this notebook in the cards up above. And I am using this one currently as my ink swatch journal. In this supplement book inside the craft folder, I have dated pages with my currently inked pens. I have kind of stopped using this, but I should get back into it. And I have a couple more inserts in here. This one is my lightweight insert, and I have separated these by color and stamped in these bottles and swatched my bottled inks in this first section here. And if I just flip through to the back, I also have some more swatches, and they are categorized by the brand of the ink. And this last insert in here is the card file insert, and these cards here are by Wearingle, and I have swatched a bunch of my bottled inks and also the samples I have as well. I have two more cards back here, and they are my watercolor swatch cards. One is the Winsor & Newton palette, and the other is my Ruko Paints collection. I'll just tuck that back in there. And that brings us to the end of the video. So I have just gone through my planners that I'm currently using and my journals that I'm currently using and what I will be using in 2024. I do hope it was helpful and perhaps you got some ideas from this. I'd also like to know how you're using your notebooks and your journals and what planner you're going to have for 2024. So leave a comment down below and let me know. I will say there's a couple more journals, planners I'm thinking about at the moment. I do have the Thinking of You planner coming my way, and I'll be using that for sticker collaging. And I am also contemplating some rings. There's a whole bunch of conversations happening on the socials at the moment about rings, and I am feeling enabled. But I will leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Until next time, bye!